Hey guys, Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to have you join me today because we have a really neat project today. We are making our very own faux pocket t-shirt. Alright guys, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and the first thing I need to do is I need to upload the image that I'm going to use for my faux pocket. All right. Now this design comes in, here we go, animal and pocket. Comes in a lot of different formats, so you can choose the one that works best for you. I am going to use the PNG image because I think that is what's going to work best for me. Now I can pick any of these animals. I believe what I'm going to do is go ahead and choose let's do the fox. But the bunny would be equally cute. Now you can see that everything, well, except the face on the fox, everything that was white turned to transparent. That has to do with the fact that this is a faux pocket design. So you want your pocket to match, right? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just choose complex and hit continue. And hit continue again. Now I am going to use the print then cut. So let's go ahead and choose that and choose upload. So I can click on my fox, go to insert image, and that's how super easy it is to bring that image in here. Now I'm going to change the background color again just to show you guys because let's see, we have a yellow shirt. So the reason that this is done as the inside is transparent is because we did select that PNG image. But what that means is that this is automatically set up as a print and cut image. Whereas with the SVG file, we would have to do some flattening and that sort of thing unless you wanted to cut from different pieces of vinyl. So it depends on which way you want to go. I'm using a printable for dark colored shirts so that I get true colors on my faux pocket, but you could technically cut this out of different colors of HTV and then line them back up on the pocket of the shirt, okay? So like I said, I'm using a yellow shirt, so I want the inside to be yellow. So what I'll do is just leave that empty and the color of the shirt will show through. Does that make sense? But the white on the face of the fox, obviously I want to keep that. So I just wanted to kind of go over that again. I didn't want to kind of leave that hanging so that it would be confusing. But we chose the PNG because it has that transparent background. That way the color of our shirt will match. Let's go ahead and size it. Now for an adult size pocket, I usually go around 4 inches. This is going to be a youth shirt. So I am going to go in width. I'm going to go 3 inches wide. You know, I could probably go 3.5. Let's do 3.5. Because you don't want it to be too small, all right? There's nothing more awkward than getting done with this and it's going to be too small. So I'm going to go ahead and click over to make it. And that is going to be my pocket. Now I'm cutting this on my Explore Air 2, and I am using my Cricut instead of my Silhouette for this project because I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like I get more dependable print and cut results using my Cricut cutting machines. All right, so I am not going to mirror this because what I'm going to do is print straight on the front surface, and then we're going to use a piece of transfer. We'll call it's actually called Magic Mask, but it's a heat-safe transfer tape to be able to pull this from the backing and apply it to the shirt directly. All right, so it's not like the light printables where you're going to flip it upside down. You're actually going to pull this off the backing and put it on the shirt. But that'll make more sense. Bear with me, guys. But I just want you to know why we're not mirroring it. I'm going to hit continue. And we're going to send to printer. Now, the material that I'm working with today is a StarCraft printable. It is going to be specific for inkjet printers. So I am also going to add the bleed, okay? That, again, I'll show you whenever we're taking a look at it, but that's going to make it to where if my print ends up being just a little bit off, I don't get that awkward white outline, okay? So I'm going to print it. I have a cute little HP printer. And we're just going to hit print. What I want to do next after printing is I want to go ahead and make sure that my machine is connected. It's doing that right now through Bluetooth. And then it's going to allow me to go in and select a material that I want to cut. All right, so what I need to do now is go ahead and select my base material. Now for this type of project, I usually use the default settings. So we will search for printable, and we have a Printable Iron On Dark. I'm going to choose done. And what I'm going to do now is walk over and load this into the Cricut Explorer Air 2 and hit that start button and let it go ahead and cut the outline so that you guys can take a look at it. Okay, so we should have received a pretty clean cut from this. Let's go ahead and take this off. Now, let me also tell you guys, if this was not for a video project, I would have taken the time to fill up the rest of my sheet. I really hate any type of waste like that because this product really isn't that inexpensive, okay? It's kind of a bit more on the expensive side. All right, so let's go ahead and pierce. I always like to pierce the top corner. And what you're trying to do is make sure that you get that layer in between the paper backing and the printable iron-on material. Now, at this time, I'm preheating my Cricut Easy Press to 350 degrees, and we are going to press this for 30 seconds. I'll reiterate that again, but I just wanted to let you know. Go ahead and start the preheating process. So this is the print bleed. You see how we still have a black outline on the paper? That is so that, like I said, if my print or my cut was just a little bit off, then I wouldn't be left with a white outline. Now, don't forget, I also want to grab the inside. This is a little bit more delicate, just because I don't want to mess it up. So let me tell you about this magic mask. Okay, this is a little sliver of magic mask that I saved from a different project. I really do hoard a lot. I'm definitely a hoarder of craft supplies. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off. Of course, I'll hoard that other piece for later. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this magic mask. Now this magic mask is primarily used for pattern heat transfer vinyl, but it works really good for moving over this printable material also. So I just applied it straight over my design, and then I want to burnish it pretty well. So take a scraper, kind of rub it down. So now it does work best if you turn it over and peel from the back, and you might have to help it along, all right? This isn't really foolproof, but StarCraft does tell you for designs like this that if you want to use the masking, you can. Sometimes you'll have to help get it started, and that's okay. It's common. I have the same problem with some types of pattern heat transfer vinyl also. So I just use my tweezers, and then it'll be much easier to just kind of help it from the back. All right, once you patiently work through that, then you just want to check it over. I had a couple spots where the paper wanted to stick right up here around the fox itself. And again, you can just use some sort of tweezers or something along those lines. You just got to get in between that paper layer and the vinyl layer. Okay, so let's move that off to the side. Let's go ahead and take a look at our shirt here. Now, like I said, this is a youth shirt. As a matter of fact, it is a youth medium. Okay, now it's a little bit on the wrinkled side. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and give it a pre-press. Now, normally for my pre-presses, I like to fold the shirt in half, but since we're doing a pocket and not a full front design, it's not really necessary. What I want to do is I want to take my design, let's adhere to the sheet, okay? And what I want to do is I want to remember that the edge of the neck is usually what comes down over the chest pocket, and then underneath the underarm is usually what comes across the center of the chest. So I want this to be in that general area. Okay, so we have it centered more or less on the same line. And then I want it to be a little above, because you got to remember the fox is peeking out of the pocket. So we want the pocket to be about here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put that on. Stick it in place. Let's grab my Teflon sheet. Now remember, I said this was going to be 350 degrees for 30 seconds, and you want to make sure that you're getting good pressure. And then let's talk a couple things about using these printable iron-on sheets. Now, you do not get the same lifespan usually out of a printable iron-on material as you're going to out of heat transfer vinyl. So if this is a shirt that you want to really last a long time, then you can go ahead and do the layering for the SVG that we talked about earlier. But this in particular is, for kids' clothes. I feel like they don't last long anyway. So I wanted to just go ahead and do it quick and easy by doing the print and cut. And although it takes a little bit of time to get the hang of using that masking, it can be useful for you if you have a hard time getting your placement correct. But I can just peel that masking back, and literally our shirt is now complete. So this is what we have, just a cute little pocket t-shirt that is going to look super, super great in my opinion. And also I really like these pocket designs because now if I want to, I think they go really great with matching up some sort of design on the back also. So I have something cute on the front and leave room for something really awesome on the back. So there we go. That is my cute little pocket t-shirt. So guys, how did you feel about our little faux pocket project? Of course, I really like it. I think they're really neat, they're really fun, and they're really cute. So you can take a regular boring old t-shirt and just add a little bit of character there. And by character on this one, I mean literally, we added a little fox, right? But you're not limited to that. You can fill these pocket designs with different quotes. You can fill it with your company logo, anything like that. There's always a really good reason why you need to learn how to do these faux pockets. So I'm going to wrap it up for today, guys, but I do really, really appreciate you stopping by today. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave those down below. Make sure also that you have hit that subscribe button. Maybe, share with a crafty friend. All of that helps to keep our little channel here going so that we can keep bringing you these really great crafting tutorials. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you again next time.